We absolutely need to stop the meeting madness.
We're trying to make adjustments, right, as a company to have that balance in between the value of technology, right, and the noise that technology brings sometimes.
If I have 10 people who report to me and I run a meeting for 1 hour, and at the end of that 1 hour, nothing is accomplished, no meeting assets, meaning action items, consensus, decisions being made, no meeting assets are created, that is 11 hours of productivity that I just wasted for my company.
Welcome to the Inside Forbes Councils podcast. Each episode shares transformative insights and advice from members of Forbes Councils, a group of invitation-only communities for successful executives and entrepreneurs. This is Inside Forbes Councils.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Inside Forbes Councils. Today, how to make meetings more worthwhile. Now, I'm sure that anybody who's worked in a corporate environment has struggled with meetings. Are they productive? Do they take up too much time? Why couldn't we just do this over email? Sometimes, though, meetings have to happen, but they could probably happen more efficiently. I think that most people would accept the idea that meetings are broken.
Atlassian did a study about meetings at work, and here are some of their findings. 53% of scheduled meeting time is actually spent on agenda items. 73% of people did other work while they were in meetings. 47% of those surveyed asserted meetings were the number one time wasters at their office. And it is estimated that $37 billion is the salary cost of unnecessary meetings. We absolutely need to stop the meeting madness.
That's Lynda Foster, CEO of Cortex Leadership Consulting. Cortex Leadership Consulting trains and coaches leaders and their teams to more effectively and efficiently reach their business objectives and desired outcomes.
It's interesting how much time is being spent in the corporations that we go into and coach and train on unnecessary, ineffective, annoying meetings. Some of the other research we found was that CEOs are the hardest hit, with 40% of their work week being eaten up with meetings. And honestly, that's on a good week. You can easily sort of calculate how much money is being spent in meetings in general in your organization if you think about how many people are in an average meeting. Let's say there's 10 people in a meeting, and let's say it lasts only an hour, and let's say each of those people are worth about $50 to $75 an hour. You pick any figure, multiply that, and then multiply that at the number of meetings that they're going to have in that year. And you're going to start getting into some significant expenses that you hadn't really thought about because it's kind of invisible.
So what can be done to make meetings more efficient? Lynda has a few ideas.
The first thing you do is go, do we even need to have the meeting? Like, there's a lot of meetings that we have because it's on the calendar. So that's one of the best ways to stop the meeting madness. Here's a trick. Here's another one. If you have an hour-long meeting scheduled, say, let's cut it to 30 minutes. You know, it's really interesting when you only have 30 minutes, how much you can get done in 30 minutes. But if you say something needs to last an hour, everybody kind of draws it out for an hour. Those are the two biggest things that you can do. The third one I would recommend is rules of engagement. So how are you going to actually conduct that meeting? Are we going to have a meeting if we don't have an agenda? Probably not a good idea. How are we going to solicit feedback from everybody at the meeting? Solicit feedback from everybody at a meeting, and you'll start realizing how many people you really want at that meeting. There's technology to do things. If I need to communicate something where I don't have to hear back from other people, why don't I just do a video? Like, wake up. There's technology if I want to tell people stuff. If you're bringing people into a room, it's because you want to know their feedback. So here are some rules to have really good meetings, right? Always start the meeting on time. If you don't, it jeopardizes trust. End the meeting on time. builds trust. It shows that you respect people's time. They feel very disrespected if you have said a certain amount of time and then not renegotiated the fact that it was going to go over. Reduce your meetings in half or even a third. Determine how many people need to be in the meeting by who you actually need to get feedback from and what type of feedback that you need to get. Have a no meeting day. Like Tuesdays, we can't schedule a meeting. Or Fridays, there's going to be no meetings.
So if you do need to have a meeting, keep it short and set rules of engagement. But once you do all that, there's another factor that might negatively impact the effectiveness of your meeting.
Technology can bring a lot of noise into an organization. One thing that we recently implemented all throughout Future Tech is the avoidance of cell phones in any meetings.
That's Bob Venero, founder and CEO of Future Tech. Future Tech serves enterprise-sized clients in every vertical market, delivering cost-effective and customized IT solutions.
So what we decided to do was, based on what we had seen, is remove phones from any of the meetings that we have. So you're not allowed to bring it in, right? It's got to be away, not on the table, not on the desk. The amount of interaction change that we've had in meetings since we've implemented that has been 10 to 1, number one. Number two, the meeting times have shrunk from an average of an hour and a half to 45 minutes. Because we go in, we accomplish the things we need to do, everybody's paying attention, and then you move out. So it's interesting to watch that dynamic of the value of technology, that we have from a corporate perspective, from what it brings to us, but then also the things that it hinders for us, right, and takes away. So we're trying to make adjustments, right, as a company to have that balance in between the value of technology, right, and the noise that technology brings sometimes.
This is Inside Forbes Councils. We'll be right back.
Are you a successful executive or entrepreneur with insights to share? Learn more about our invitation-only communities at ForbesCouncils.com. Forbes Councils members have the opportunity to collaborate with fellow business leaders to overcome challenges and create new opportunities. Members also have access to support benefits that help them save time and money, and a platform, Community Voice, on Forbes.com, through which they can amplify their voices and exchange ideas. See if you qualify at ForbesCouncils.com.
Stopping the meeting madness. Lynda Foster has shared some tips on how to better structure meetings, and Bob Venero, a technologist in his own right, advises against bringing technology into meetings. But what about actually running the meeting?
If I have 10 people who report to me and I run a meeting for 1 hour, and at the end of that 1 hour, nothing is accomplished, no meeting assets, meaning action items, consensus, decisions being made, no meeting assets are created, that is 11 hours of productivity that I just wasted for my company because that meeting was a waste of time. So the one thing is you got to make sure, again, what is your objective with a presentation or a meeting? What do you want to accomplish at the end? And you've got to make sure at the end you've accomplished that objective.
That's G. Riley Mills, the co-founder of Pinnacle Performance Company.
So the combination of two words and two concepts, those being intention and objective, the effective communicator's secret weapon. And very simply, you break it down like this. Your objective as a communicator is your goal at the end of that meeting or presentation. It's what you want to happen when you walk out of that meeting or presentation. An objective could be as simple as, I want my people to show up on time. They're slacking, they're coming in late. I want them to show up on time. Or it could be, I want to upsell this client. I want to grow the business. So that's my objective. I'm going to go to this meeting. They're a great client. They've been very loyal. They like us. But they did $500,000 worth of business last year. I want to get that up to $750,000. That's my goal, okay? Or it could be I want to challenge senior leadership, right? My goal could be I want them to do something different. This objective is I want senior leadership to think of things in a different way. So I'm going to challenge them. Now, intention is going to be the one-word verb that's going to help you accomplish your objective. So to challenge senior leadership so they do things in a different way. Intention and objective. The latecomers, I want to reprimand my team so that they show up on time going forward. So that's intention, that's objective. I want to excite my client about the possibilities of doing more business to help them grow their business. So that's intention and objective in each of those situations. We have a phrase, we call it the persuasion equation. And the phrase is this: I want to blank my audience so that my audience will blank. And you put intention in the first slot, you put objective in the second slot. And if you're delivering a presentation, running a meeting, doing a performance review, and you can't fill that in, you can't choose a verb to put in there for an intention, you're not sure what the objective is or what the point of this one-on-one is, don't do the meeting until you have clarity on that. You got to be clear.
Stop the meeting madness. First, ask if you really need to have the meeting at all. Second, keep it short. Third, lay out the rules of engagement for the meeting. Also, have your attendees leave their phones at the door so that everyone is focused and engaged. Consider no meeting days so employees have uninterrupted days of productivity. And when facilitating a meeting, make sure you have a clear intention and objective so that everyone walks away from the meeting knowing what to do. I'd like to thank Lynda Foster, Bob Venero, and G. Riley Mills for sharing their insights. If you'd like more tips on time management, be sure to check out Lynda's book, Time Mastery: 7 Simple Steps to Your Richest Outcomes. That's all we have for today. We'll see you on the next episode.
This has been Inside Forbes Councils. Please be sure to subscribe to us on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. If you're a member of the Forbes Councils and would like to participate in our podcast series, please email your member concierge. If you're interested in joining a Forbes Council, learn more at ForbesCouncils.com.